Good morning, students. Today we are going to read chapter 5 of Geography, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife, module 1st. Natural vegetation and wildlife. There are two main words in the theme. First, natural vegetation. You can see here what is natural vegetation. Whatever the vegetation we are watching, there is no contribution of human being in the growth of this vegetation. It grows itself and known as natural vegetation or virgin vegetation. Now let us see. Introduction is here. Natural vegetation. It means the vegetation grown by nature, or we can say by its own. It is also known as virgin vegetation. Second, wildlife. This is the animals, birds, insects of the nature. India is a vast country, as for sure it will also have a vast biodiversity. India is ranked 12th in the world most mega diverse countries in the world. India has 47,000 plant species and 89,000 animal species. Let us talk about the flora and fauna. What is fauna? It is referred to the animal species of a particular area. What about the flora? It is referred to the plant species of a particular area. Now let us see the number species detail. 47,000 plant species, 15,000 flowering plants, which is a 6% of the world's flowering plants, 89,000 animal species, 1,200 bird species, 13% of the world's total birds, 2,500 fish species, which is the 12% of the world's stock, and finally 5 to 6% of amphibian, reptiles and mammals. Now let us see in detail that what is virgin vegetation. A plant community which has grown naturally without human aid and has been left undisturbed by human for a long time is called virgin vegetation. What factors are responsible for the huge diversity in flora and fauna kingdom? Now let us see what are these factors, how we are getting the variety of flora and fauna in our country. Relief features, land and soil. Let us talk about the land first. Nature of land influences the type of vegetation. Fertile level land is generally devoted to agriculture. Undulating and rough terrain are areas where grassland and woodlands develop and give shelter to a variety of wildlife. Whereas we talk about the soil, that different type of soils provide basis for different type of vegetation. Sandy desert soil support cactus, as we can see in the Rajasthan Thar desert area, and thorny bushes. Wet marshy deltaic soils support mangroves and deltaic vegetation, and hill slopes with some depth of soil have coniferous trees. Let us talk about the climate, in which we will read about the two major factors, temperature and photoperiod. Let us see. The character of and extent of vegetation are mainly determined by temperature along with the humidity in the air, precipitation and soil. On the slopes of the Himalayas and hills of the peninsula above the height of 915 meters, the fall in temperature affects the types of vegetation and its growth and changes it from the tropical to subtropical, temperate and alpine vegetation. Whereas we talk about the photoperiod, the variation in the duration of sunlight at the different places is due to differences in the latitude, altitude, season and duration of the day. Due to longer duration of sunlight, trees grows faster in the summer. If we talk about the precipitation here, in India, the advancing southwest monsoon and retreating northeast monsoons bring in almost the entire rainfall. Areas of heavy rainfall have more dense vegetation as compared to other areas of less rainfall. Why forests are important for human being? Question arises in our mind now. Because they are renewable resources, and we know that renewable resources are continuous and they are very, very important for all of us. Play a major role of enhancing the quality of environment, modify the local climate, as well control soil erosion, regulate stream flow, support the variety of industries. Because we get a number of things or goods or products from these plants, provide livelihood for many communities as well animals, offer panoramic or scenic view for recreation, controls wind force and temperature and causes rainfall, provides humus to the soil, provides shelter to the wildlife. Thank you. Next we will read in our next module.